A live stream, everybody. I don't even give a crap about copyright strikes, chat. It just fit too perfectly. You know we had to do it, guys. Thank you for being here tonight, everybody from MH370X. You guys know what's going on. Gorgon Stare. Gorgon Stare. We need to be repeating that from the rooftops everywhere. It is for us to refuse loyalty when injustice holds sway. Henry Lawrencey. Think about that. The situation we're in right now is that we've got 2 leaked military videos, United States covert operation, no question whatsoever. We know the truth. And the reality of it is, it harms national security to reveal the truth. But it is for us to refuse loyalty when there is injustice. And there is injustice at play here. It's not our fault those videos leaked on the internet that show teleportation. We didn't do that. We didn't make that decision. We didn't even leak the videos. All we did was found videos that were already on the internet and figured them out. We took the Shia LaBeouf flag thing times a million in a way that will never be done ever again in the history of the world. Times a million. Figured out the exact camera that is being used in the MH370 quote-unquote satellite video. The big break came earlier this week when I had already figured out that the camera being used must be Argus. I realized there can't be that many cameras that have these types of capabilities. It must be Argus. And if this video is Argus, then perhaps we could narrow down the whammy options that could be this video. Started to do research, narrowed it down to just 3 options very quickly. Angel Fire, Argus, and Gorgon Stare. The large reveal, the biggest reveal, came when we found out that, where is it? Here it is. Gorgon Stare actually integrated with Argus. The big reveal, the thing that broke the case this week, was that Gorgon Stare integrated with Argus, and Gorgon Stare Increment 1 became Gorgon Stare Increment 2 integrated with Argus, which vastly improved its capabilities. So we are actually looking at Gorgon Stare Increment 2 or beyond, but we're highly confident it's at least Gorgon Stare Increment 2. And then the big break came. But before we do that, I want to hit this huge dono that just came in. ADW, wow, $500? Wow. Some of you are absolutely wild. Thank you very much, ADW. I urge you to speak to Dan Cooper. He was a paralegal who specialized in writs and mandamus. I mean, writs and mandamus. I mean, are those real things? I don't know. He turned physicist in 2014 when he discovered over unity, the 6/4. Okay. Oh, did Amy Eskridge mention him? You are meant to speak to him. Reach out through him through Laura Eisenhower or Journey Through the Truth Guys. Okay. I mean, if you give me $500, I guess I'm kind of indebted to reach out. So let me make a note of that. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So you want me to talk to Dan Cooper through Laura Eisenhower or Journey. Okay. I'll check them out. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Okay, guys, this is our moment. This is our chance. I have been talking about we have to wait for our moment, wait for them to make a mistake, wait for the right moment to act on the right information, and the Gorgon Stare information is the right information. The Gorgon Stare information, limiting it down to just Gorgon Stare with Argus as the possibility, basically just nails the case. Now, in this investigation, this is basically the lead that brings us to the people that we can take legal action against. Like, legal action is going to go into this. We're getting to the people now who are legally, criminally implicated in at least the cover up, minimum the cover up. They might be criminally implicated in the act itself. So the big break was finding out that there's a third aspect to the videos that we had ignored. There's a third aspect to this video that we ignored. Not only is the background 6 frames per second, and the foreground is a 24 frame viewing window, but there's also an update rate of 1 hertz that's happening as well. That can only be seen around like the cloud edges, etc. So what we are proving here is it doesn't even matter what you're seeing on the screen. What you're visually seeing happen doesn't matter for the authenticity of our proof of this video. The authenticity of our proof, I think I have it right here. Right here. Doesn't require any of those things. It's right here. It says that every frame is normal 20 FPS on exactly 1 frame per second. The digits update. All other frames show perfectly merged digits. Tick happens on every 38-second boundary, not when the mouse moves on the leaked desktop capture. The bottom line proof is 1 hertz coordinate refresh is the MISB 0601 compliance rate only used on U.S. NATO military. Commercial doesn't even use that, when I double-checked at least. So this shows this is military exploitation software. Therefore, this is a cadence fingerprint. Fingerprint meaning it can only be this thing that shows this is the signature that is legitimately real-time data being transmitted through this system, through the satellite as we see, to the ground-based computers. So this right here is the peer-reviewable forensic proof. Forensic meaning it looks at the actual analysis of the data of the video itself to determine that this must be what the video actually is. This means it's not somebody that made it in Blender or Adobe. This rules out anybody using VFX tools to make the video. That's not what this proves that's not the case. If anyone disagrees, there's the peer review proof right there. So the 2 main things we need to be focusing on right off the bat, because keep in mind, this is an information war. 1, it's Gorgon Stare. Can't be denied. It's Gorgon Stare. If it wasn't Gorgon Stare, it's been 3 days, 5 days, 6 days since we've been saying that. You'd have people in the reply saying, I'm with the Air Force. That's not Gorgon Stare. There would be like dozens and dozens of people saying that. The fact that nobody's basically come out to say that it's not Gorgon Stare means that they know it's Gorgon Stare and they can't say anything because they have NDAs and military stuff, blah, 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 right? And I have 2 sources that corroborate it as well, so whatever. So we have them dead to rights on the Gorgon Stare thing. So we should be saying Gorgon Stare as much as possible in relation to that video. People want to argue the other points, whatever. The other thing, too, is that people are often saying we know what their disinformation is. The clouds don't move. That's not organic. That's something that the CIA pushed out there that they stuck into people's minds like brainwashing. Because if you're a normal, logically thinking person, you go, the clouds not appearing to move very much isn't weird at all. It's supposedly from a satellite. I mean, do the stars look like they're moving to you? So when someone says, are the clouds moving? Your first counter is to say, do you think the stars are moving? Because you want to get them to address the logic of just because something doesn't look like it's moving doesn't mean it is. Doesn't mean it isn't. And they won't be able to respond to that. They'll never respond to that, ever. They'll never, literally, it's a literal thing you can say in response that they will never be able to respond to. So just say, do the stars look like they're moving? And then if they press you after that, just say, look into how whammy footage works. The whole point of the whammy footage is it's collecting these pictures to produce this large mosaic. So, of course, it has to correct for like parallax and things like that. That's the whole point of it. That's what it's doing. So if anybody says it doesn't look right and how it should look if it's from a camera, you say that's the whole point. That's the whole point. It's whammy. It's not literally a video camera. It's whammy. So just look into the capabilities of whammy. I actually have a link to that right here as well. So everything's been sourced, everything out there, all this information is perfectly sourced. You can read about it for yourself. Anybody that doesn't understand whammy, read this PDF, which isn't even about Gorgon Stare. It's just about whammy in general. I think it's from about 2006. So this is from way before the videos. And this explains exactly how the whammy footage works right here. Capabilities of it. The sensor exploitation data. Explains for how it auto-calibrates for 3D models that you can see here. Explains how it can fully automate 3D reconstruction. So it can actually, it's literally producing 3D from two-dimensional images. So this is how, the video we're looking at is probably literally was 3D stereoscopic. But it's maybe a digital stereoscopic that like this software is doing, right? So here's another example of that. And then they have the geo registration. So they have to have geolocations on every picture so that they can merge them together efficiently and accurately. And then what was the last part? Oh, the parallax. Here's the thing. So when they say, how funny is it that they attack the parallax? And there's the answer to the parallax right here. They know that the parallax is a problem. So they have a parallax mitigation capabilities. And that's how they fix it. So you can see here's the parallax, and then they fix it. And they just resolve it. So, okay, I saw another huge dono come in, so I better hit that. Corey, thank you very much. Yeah, people need to go to jail. They really do. And that's the reason why I'm pushing. So, this is our moment. We have the verifiable, peer-reviewable proof that we have made publicly available. So, share that image. It's on my Twitter right now. Share that image of the peer-reviewable proof. Share that it's Gorgon Stare. If anybody doubts the authenticity of the video, have them review the facts for themselves and have them ask the Air Force. Now, the other thing, too, is that not only have we forensically shown that it's, or shown the forensic proof that it's Gorgon Stare, military footage, real time. It's not somebody didn't use software to make it. But we also showed, if you ask AI about the capabilities of Gorgon Stare Increment 2 relative to the videos, it's a point-for-point perfect match on every single point to such a degree of accuracy that it can't be any other whammy system or any system at all unless that system is a literal duplicate of Gorgon Stare, some other iteration of it. So use any source you want to peer review us. Basically what I'm saying is we already know that every source out there already confirms it. We already know that. So good luck with that peer review. Why am I not seeing a lot of peer reviews in the our peer review? Everybody says make your stuff peer reviewed to everybody. Well, there it is. It's only one page. Just one page is all you got to see. One page digital forensic proof that the Gorgon Stare video is authentic whammy footage. Doesn't matter that you're seeing orbs or teleportation. None of that matters. That's real forensic proof that that video is legit. And yeah, we ran the video through the language learning model and says it's a perfect match to Gorgon Stare Increment 2. So if you've got some counter evidence, or somebody is willing to go on the record and say that they're Air Force and that they've seen Gorgon Stare Increment 2 or Gorgon Stare in general, all the Gorgon Stares, and that they know that can't possibly be Gorgon Stare, I would love to talk to them. Love to find somebody like that. Please. Dare you. In fact, I dare Sierra Nevada Corporation to sue me. I dare you. Sierra Nevada Corporation is a criminal enterprise. Sierra Nevada Corporation is a criminal enterprise that has data on their servers that pass through their servers at a bare minimum that show illegal covert operations being conducted against civilian airliners, not military targets, civilian airliners that had Americans on board. Americans were on board that. U.S. covert operations targeted an airliner with Americans on board. Yeah, this is called real journalism, no filter whatsoever. No national security. I didn't go ask anybody if I could say this. I'm just saying it because it's true. And you know why I'm not afraid of being sued? Because the truth is an affirmative defense against defamation. The truth is an affirmative defense against defamation. And that whammy video is Sierra Nevada Corporation. They're not just the people that like made the sensor. Sierra can like, I'm not going after BAE Systems or the L3 Harris because it's not just the camera that they bought. Sierra Nevada Corporation is criminally connected to this because they're taking all the sensor data and they're packaging it together and literally distributing it like on a silver platter to the people in special operations running the illegal operations, going, here you go. Would you like a lemonade while you teleport that airliner out of the sky? That's what Sierra Nevada Corporation is doing. They are criminally implicated, 100%. And I would love more than anything for them to try to sue me. Because the very first thing I'm going to do is countersue them for $1 billion. And I know exactly what I'm looking for. I'm going to take all the data on Argus IS, Argus IR, exactly when those systems were being produced and implemented. And I'm going to find out exactly who got the version that was the one that was recording that video. I'm going to find out exactly who you gave it to and who was recording that. Whoever special operation group that was, they're fucked. You guys have the data and I'm going to get it from you. And if you deleted it, well, then you're going to prison forever. Here are your options. What was her name? Erin. What's their CEO's name? Let's pull her up. Let's get her on the big screen chat. We're going to go. I got a lot of things to go over here as well. So I'm so unafraid that I'm literally calling their CEO a criminal who should be immediately arrested right now. I mean, I know that's not going to happen because I know there's no justice in this world, but that's the point. I'm showing you guys that everything is a sham. Everything's a sham. We have this woman dead to rights. She should be in prison for the rest of her life. We have her dead to rights, absolute proof. This is crazy. Erin Oseman isn't just, oh, they just installed this CEO and she doesn't maybe know anything about what's going on. No. She built the company from the ground up when it only had 20 people back in 1994. She has been the essential part of this whole thing. Top woman-owned U.S. aerospace and defense company. I didn't even see that part before. Yikes. DEI strikes again, chat. DEI strikes again. Sorry, women. I don't mean to put you down, women, but wow. We're going to have to go ahead and take that award away. Whoa. I mean, she might be one of the worst criminal CEOs to literally exist right now. She is the brains of the entire U.S. Air Force secret spy surveillance apparatus. This company is controlling all of it, like all the data. How do you guys think Edward Lynn found that data? That got pushed to this joint tactical intelligence network, and Edward Lynn saw it. Now I'm even more convinced that Edward Lynn wasn't even part of the operation. Edward Lynn might have been just on the rescue operation, and he's looking through the data online because he has access, and he's like, oh shit, he runs across the special operation he wasn't supposed to see. Because, like, nobody should have seen those videos. The only people that are seeing those videos are, like, at the absolute top. Nobody's seeing those videos. And the only person recording that is somebody who, if they say anything, nobody's going to ever see them again. So that lady has no excuse whatsoever. And I'm going to tell you exactly what we're doing because I know there's nothing they can do. They need this to go away quietly. That's what they need to have happen. They can't address it. They can't say anything about it. Anything they say only brings more attention to it. And they know they're in the wrong. They know they're criminally in the wrong. So their only option is to bunker down and stay quiet. And what does that mean for me? I can just hammer them over the head and say anything I want about them, literally anything. I can call them criminals. I can call them murderers. I can call them just literally anything I want because it's all true. It's all true, and they know it's true. So what's up, SNC? So if you guys are not up to speed, I have been reaching out, and I've given them a fair chance. I gave them fair chance. There's nothing their lawyers can say. I reached out to them on Monday and on Tuesday again. I talked to the security officer. Today, the one I talked to was Colin. His name is Colin. I think he was the same guy I spoke to before. First day, they gave me a phone number for comms. Didn't go anywhere. I left a message. Didn't go anywhere. Didn't get any calls back. Second day, I called back again. I tell Colin, you gave me a number that doesn't go anywhere. I say, Colin, please write this down. Take this message down. Make sure this gets to your PR. I want you to issue a public statement about the fact that your videos are on the internet. It shows an illegal black operation. You guys are implicated. You need to issue a statement about it. Here you go. No callback once again. Okay. Friday rolls around. I call them before work. I have them ready to go. They're on the East Coast, whatever. So I say, hey, this is Ashton Forbes calling back again. I haven't got a call back. I've got 2 videos leaking all over the internet. Gorgon Stare, blah, blah, blah. Beep. They hang up. Hang up on me. Okay. Call back again. Beep. They don't even say anything. I don't even say anything. I just wait there with the call. I hear nothing. And then the guy just hangs up. Okay. Call back again. Picks up, hangs up immediately. Hangs up immediately again. This is 100% real. Exactly how it went down. And so then I'm sitting there going, are you kidding me? You think that's how it's going to go down? So the very next thing I did was make the Twitter post and said, everybody should call these people and ask why they have not issued a public statement on the fact that their Gorgon Stare Increment 2 classified whammy footage is leaking all over the internet for the last 10 years. And they've said nothing about it. Sierra Nevada Corporation has they've had 11 years to say the truth about those videos. They've had 11 years while those videos have been on the internet to say the truth, and they haven't done it. 239 people were lost. Thousands of family members lost their loved ones. Those people 100% knew the truth. And there's no excuse they can make because the footage wasn't just on their servers. It was publicly available. And anyone connected to that who saw those videos knows that's their software. They know they're the ones that distributed that. No question. So she doesn't have any excuse. She can't say she didn't know. That's not an excuse. Ignorance is not an excuse. The only thing they can say is, yes, that's our footage. And we had no idea that was going down at the time. We're extremely sorry. Here's all the data. We're going to make everything publicly available to show how we're not involved in that. That's the only option they have. Anything less than that is not transparent, and I will not accept it. That's it. Sierra Nevada Corporation. I don't know why I have to keep repeating this. I'm going to give you the best advice you've ever gotten in your entire life. Every time I say this, everybody gets so mad because it comes off as egotistical, and it is. I'm scolding you like I scold a little fucking kid because that's what you are. You're little spoiled brats. So I'm going to scold you like one. So this is the best advice you've ever gotten in your spoiled little rat lives. Tell the truth. Come out and say, the U.S. Special Forces zapped MH370. We're sorry that we lied about it. We didn't mean it. Here's all the data that proves it. Give us all the data publicly and just humble yourself in front of us, your new lords and saviors that determine what happens to you. That's the best advice anybody will ever give you. I know you're not going to take it, but that's still the best advice you get. I know you're going to go burn down with the ship instead, and that's fine. That was always an option. But I just don't want to hear people complain later on about why I didn't give them a chance or didn't try to warn them or anything like that. I keep doing that, and then people just keep like destroying themselves. There's not much you can do about it. I'm a guy that you should take me at my word at everything I tell you at face value. And if you're not doing that, then you're going to be met with disappointment and failure. And here's the other thing. We have to get them to address the situation publicly, because it's highly unlikely they will risk lying publicly at this point. We have them in such a perfect position right now. This is why the only messaging we need to be putting out there is that video is Gorgon Stare. Here's the peer reviewable forensic proof that it's Gorgon Stare. And we are just waiting for the government to issue its public statement about its opinion of how did I phrase it? Oh, we want to know the Air Force and DOD's public stance on the videos. That's what we want to know. We don't actually at this point even want them to admit it's Gorgon Stare. We don't care. We know it's Gorgon Stare. What we want is this. This is exactly what we want. Get ready. Write this down. We want to know the Air Force and the DOD's public stance on the MH370 videos, Gorgon Stare, Aegis videos. That's what we want. And say it with the Gorgon Stare involved, right? In fact, we really only need them to give their opinion on the one video. They don't even need to get it on both. Just, what is your opinion? What is your stance on the leaked Gorgon Stare Aegis video? There we go. That's what we want. Hello, DOD. And by the way, I want you guys to do this as well. So you guys did a great job calling Sierra Nevada Corporation to get an opinion, because what that means is now everybody in the company is talking about that. Everybody in their company now is going, oh shit, wait, there's some leaked footage on the internet. Where is it? What does it look like? They're all talking about it now, right? So now there's this rumor going on at Sierra Nevada Corporation. It turns out the rumor is 100% real too. If you're at Sierra Nevada Corporation, if I were you, I'd be looking for a new job. Second thing I'd be doing is asking my boss, when are we going to issue a public statement about those leaked videos of our illegal covert operation that was going on, that somebody's definitely going to prison for? Definitely. That's the murder of 239 people. The other thing, the thing that we really need is this. If you Google Air Force Public Relations Media and DOD Public Relations Media, you will find that they have phone numbers you can call, and you can tell them, hello, there is a leaked Gorgon Stare Argus video on the internet showing a covert operation, and I want to know what the DOD's or Air Force's stance is on the leaked video. Phrase it just like that. Hi, my name is XYZ. I want to know the DOD's or Air Force's public stance on the leaked Gorgon Stare Aegis video. Here you go. Here's where it's at. Boom. All of you during 9 to 5. Wow, I'm losing my voice. 9 to 5 during weekdays, contact them and ask them that question. So the reason why they can't risk lying is this, because people may say, why won't they just come out and lie and say it's not Gorgon Stare footage? They can't. They can't lie because thousands of people have seen Gorgon Stare footage. Thousands of people have seen it. Not just like one or two. So all that would have to happen is all we need, and that's why I'm not even worried about it, is just one or two people to be willing to testify that, yes, that's Gorgon Stare footage, increment 2. Or what if it's a different increment, whatever. And if we have that, then we would prove the other people were liars, and those people will go to prison for perjury. Or worse, right? I mean, when you look at the stakes of what's going on in the video, nobody wants to lie about those videos because they're lying about the murder of 239 people. It's not like lying about stealing $5,000. You're asking somebody to lie about the murder of 239 people. You go to prison for the rest of your life for something like that. So we have them completely over the barrel, absolutely nothing they can say. Sierra Nevada Corporation is a criminal enterprise that is feeding illegal covert black operations. Apparently 6 frames. It used to be 6 frames per second. Apparently it's now better than that. And the data is on their servers, no question, no doubt. Kind of like CP. The CP is on their servers. That's the analogy. I'm not literally saying that. Okay, why is it Gorgon Stare? We reviewed the main evidence that shows why it's Gorgon Stare right here. Oh, wait, that's not it. That was a different one. This one right here. This one explains the why is a Gorgon Stare. This right here explains the how and when they upgraded it. Oops. Now, here's another Gorgon Stare video or image. I forget who sent this to me, but thank you very much, whoever did. Wide area aerial surveillance. So, continuous feed. I mean, we already know all this basically, right? But I just think this is a pretty cool thing. Now, oh, this is what I remember I wanted to show you. This is Gorgon Stare 1. So we were able to figure out this is Gorgon Stare increment 1. Because of the date on this going back to 2012, that's the first iteration of it. And it only has a pod under one wing. And you'll see down here, actually, this is dope looking. Right down here, one of the pods is just a sensor and one's a camera. So that's not the one we're looking at. We know it's not this one. The one we're looking at's got 2. One pod under each wing. So we're looking at, once again, iteration 2 of this. But if you want to understand what Gorgon Stare is and why it's not even technically video. Video must be over a certain frame rate. It's whammy, wide area motion imagery. If you want to understand why it looks so weird, then you just need to read through this. Now, this also points out here on the left, the chip out windows. Chip out motion window. So the chip out windows, I believe, are the small windows that we see, the variable windows that popped out. And we're seeing somebody recording one of those windows. I better save this. Somebody's recording one of those windows in this Gorgon Stare footage. I'm going to pull it back up once again. They're recording one of these windows, and they can see the bigger field behind them. And what happens at the end of the video, I'm just going to skip ahead, is they go to the top right, up here, and they close the window. They close the window that's popped up on the screen. But the screen recording is still going. Or the window recording is still going. Watch it. Boom. That's another detail that proves that it's actually this functionality. So the video actually shows enough capabilities. This is still the video, by the way. It's not just black. This is actually that's the video. The video is just black. So everything we see in the video proves that it is this Gorgon Stare whammy capability. Let me see what else I got here. Yeah, and I have this other article I'm not going to pull up, but it talks about how the old version had this blinking problem, and the version we see looks pristine. So that, again, shows it's not that first version that we found out there. And so if anyone tries to say, oh, it doesn't have the right frame rate, that's something that people were saying. We actually found something that refutes the frame rate as well. I mean, there was never really a problem with the frame rate at all anyway. I think this is it, right? Let me see. Hold on. I think I have it on my Twitter. Because the frame rate's been improving every iteration. And the rumor is, they stopped reporting it publicly, but the rumor is it has 30 frames per second now. It started 1 frame per second. The version we were looking at is 6 frames per second. And once again, I forget who sent this to me, but And I apologize for not getting everybody their due credit, but you guys all know that you're the bomb. Here it is. Here's the website right here. I'll make it super small for a second. Take a good look at this one, guys. What did I just do? Where'd it go? Huh. What? Did I close it? Oh, here. This is it. My God. Okay, I'm an idiot. I just closed it. That's all. Okay. So it says that it's long wave and mid wave infrared. This is the Argus camera. And we are definitely looking at either a mid wave or long wave camera. I haven't quite figured out why it's white. It's either some kind of mode that they have or some kind of temperature inversion. Not really sure. Down here, you can see that it says you can call a video from the archive. So you can pull up a previously recorded. So what we're seeing is not when it was, at least for the Gorgon Stare video, we're looking at someone who pulled it up after the fact. Somebody pulled it up after the fact, and then they're moving the screen around because the windows are electronically steerable. So you can steer the window just like we see the user doing in the whammy footage. Oh, where's the thing? Oh, yeah, right here. 5 frames per second right here. Capturing the scene in 5 frames per second in infrared. So right here, this connects the infrared. Let me change this. This right here connects the infrared capability that we're looking at. We know it's infrared because it's nighttime. That connects it to being very, very close to 6 frames per second, 5 frames per second. Very close. So we even have some online corroborated evidence of very, very close to 6 frames per second like we're seeing in that video. So those are the reason why it's Gorgon Stare. Point for point match to all of Gorgon Stare increment 2's capability, not increment 1. It's a point for point match to Gorgon Stare increment 2. Increment 2. And technical capabilities, not what you see on the video, the technical way that the video is coming across, being transmitted, is 100% consistent with military, and only military uses that, not commercial. So it actually can't even be a fake video. So really, if you want to argue that the video is fake, now you're really boxed in. Because now you have to come up with some imaginary scenario by which some black ops person who is privy to the technical details of Gorgon Stare and Argus, who's also a master physicist, who also decides to play the weirdest prank ever about MH370, who also is a psychic who knows that we're never going to find the plane, who's also a VFX master, decides to do a weird prank and combined all this knowledge together, and then also take no credit for it whatsoever. And they did it in just a few weeks, maybe just a couple days. Okay. I don't think so, guys. The videos are real, so there's no counter argument. There's no story that works. If there was, I'd be happy to tell it to you guys. It just is what it is. And then you may say, okay, Ashton, this is breaking my mind. Why are you alive? Well, my voice is hoarse. I'm exhausted. And I'm probably in danger, to be perfectly honest with you. But I still don't give a shit at all. Still don't care at all. Probably someone wants this stuff out. Probably someone wants this stuff out. In fact, you know what? I'm invincible. I'm the main character of this story. They can't hurt me. Come get some. I'm just kidding. No, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm not going to ask why, and I'm just going to keep pushing until something happens. That's pretty much what the plan is. That's the plan. Yeah, I'm the boogeyman. I'm just the boogeyman. Okay, so once again, why does this implicate Sierra Nevada Corporation? Why are they implicated? Because they are not just somebody that made a sensor and said, here, you bought this from me. Go take it and do whatever you want with it. That's not what Sierra Nevada Corporation is. We got a big fish, chat. We got a big fish. Like, the thing was, the moment I realized what Sierra Nevada Corporation was doing, when I realized their role after investigating all 3 companies connected to the sensor, that's when I did the emergency stream, because I knew we fucking had them. We got them. Because I know that we have forensic proof that we can tie back to them. They can be tied back to them. So the moment I realized that they aren't just a camera producer, that they're actually somebody instilled in the process of delivering the data, that they are like actually packaging the sensor data, putting it together through their servers and their system, and then feeding it to these people, that criminally implicates them and connects them to it in a way well beyond just a situation where, oh, I just bought this gun. So the analogy people are going to say is, well, it's like blaming the gun manufacturer. No, it's not. That is not what's going on. That's why I'm not going after BAE Systems. BAE Systems just built the sensor. They don't know what's happening to it. Fine. Sierra Nevada Corporation is criminally implicated. They're not just, quote unquote, building the sensor. No. They are transmitting the data through their servers to the DOD or what have you. And even if they weren't doing that, even if we gave them the benefit of the doubt and somehow said, oh, it's the DOD owns the server, we don't touch it, which there's no way. Even if we did that, they still know they're looking at their software in those videos. And every day that goes by, they're more deeply implicated in the criminal cover-up. They're at a minimum implicated in the criminal cover-up, at a bare minimum already at this point right now. That's why their phone lines were shut down. They'll probably stay shut down. And they need to just, again, I gave them the best advice ever. They need to just tell the truth. Two more things, and then we're going to go through donations. We'll take some questions. The situation of the operation. Why is it an operation in the videos? Let me pull it up. It's an operation. Where is it? Side by side. Weird. I don't see the one I wanted. Okay, let's just use this one. Huh? Well, that's not the video. Oh, here it is. Okay. So this is an operation actually because of the distance and proximity of this drone. The drone overhead could actually loiter for a long period of time. So there's one drone up above looking down on the plane. And this other drone, there's two drones. This drone is looking at it from the side. So I want you guys to make sure you get your facts straight on this. A lot of you guys are content creators. There are two drones. Satellites, let's just rule satellites out. There might be satellites involved, but let's just, for simplicity's sake, we don't need satellites to be involved other than the relay satellite. Two drones, one drone on the right here, filming straight down, or not quite straight down, down at an angle at the area, and then one drone horizontally. The way the camera operator is controlling the camera, we can tell this isn't just them like checking the situation out. The whole thing is an operation. The drone is there to record the operation, make sure everything goes smoothly. This is a lightning camera, G4, we think. I've been saying it wrong. It's spelt lightning, but it's pronounced lightning. Sure. Okay. It's a lightning camera, and this is FLIR, but it's colorized FLIR. So they basically just throw like a thermal gradient on the FLIR footage is how this works. And this color FLIR is about 7 years ahead of even just standard military rollout. So this color FLIR video shows that this is an operation as well. because they're using the most advanced surveillance equipment out there. And they had all these assets in the area. There's not enough time for them to respond with these super advanced assets and then get like a whammy drone above looking down on the plane. They were doing that, recording with all these super assets because they knew what those orbs were about to do to the plane. They knew what those orbs were going to do. So that means those orbs are their weapon, that the whole thing is based on them using those orbs on that plane. So Gorgon Stare looking down, maybe like the, angle like this at the plane. Where are you at? Totally not Delta plane. Uh-oh. I thought the Delta plane went to the ether. Okay, so we've got our Delta plane. I mean, sorry, not Delta plane, the Malaysian Airlines plane. And then we've got one drone looking down, kind of like maybe at like an angle, like this. And then we got our other drone kind of looking at the side. Okay? Kind of like that. So two drones sandwiching the plane. They know what's going down. And then these orbs get deployed from, I don't even know where the orbs are being deployed from. Space? Satellite? Maybe another airplane? From a submarine? The second orb looks like it comes from the water. The second orb looks like it comes from the water. Look closely. See that? Look at the water in the middle of the screen, right below the plane. Look at the area right below the plane. You see that orb right there? Right there? Let me see if I can get it on the screen. There it is. It's right above the cloud. Okay. Anyway, so I don't know where these orbs are coming from. My guess is they can remain coherent long enough that they can come from pretty far away. That's my guess, is that they can be coherent long enough. I don't know how long they can stay coherent, but long enough that they can come from really far away. They might come from the abyss. You guys might be right. In terms of where the plane's going, everybody's saying, where's the plane's going? We have to ask the U.S. government. What did they do with the plane? Where did the plane go? Did anyone survive? We have to ask them. Remember, we have to ask the U.S. government. And you guys can all believe whatever you want to believe about where the plane went. I really don't care. As long as we admit that's what happened to the plane. And I want to point out, for the people that are saying, if anyone out there is like, Ashton, why are you talking about science? The reason why I'm not talking about science is I've told you guys what my goal is. My goal is to get the United States government to admit what they did to MH370 under any and all circumstances, no matter what it takes. If that means I have to learn about free energy and teleportation, then I'm going to learn about free energy and teleportation. If that means I have to bring down a major defense contractor and get their CEO thrown in prison, then that's what I'll do. I literally do not care what it takes. The best possible route I can find to make that happen is what I'm going to go after. So before that was Edward Lin, and Edward Lin got the biggest break of his whole life when we found out that was Gorgon Stare footage, because that made it that we had a new target, one that we can act upon. Sierra Nevada Corporation. So that's why that's the focus. This is the focus of the stream right now. Now, where did the plane go? I think the plane ended up at Diego Garcia. I believe the debris is from MH370, but it's not enough debris to prove the plane crashed. Instead, that debris fell off the plane, or they tore the plane up and threw some in the water, or it fell in the water. There's a lot of different possibilities. But I think the bulk of the plane ended up near or in Diego Garcia. Ultimately ended up there. I don't think anybody survived except for maybe like the pilot. Maybe the pilot. That's my opinion. I'm not going to go into the details of why. You guys know why I think that. Those are my opinions. Whatever you guys want to believe about it, I don't care where it goes. Remember, we need to focus on asking the U.S. government what they did, because they're the ones that know. The people that are using magical Harry Potter orbs and teleporting planes away, those people know way more than they're letting on. Way, 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 way more. Also, they could probably tell us a thing or two about aliens, for the people that care about aliens. I'm pretty sure the guys with the floaty magical orbs, they probably know what's going on with the alien thing. Just a wild, wild hunch. Okay. So I already said then the leak, it's most likely now, the story that makes the most sense now is that Edward Lynn was probably not on the operation. He still could have been. Still a decent chance he was on the operation, but maybe he wasn't on the operation and just saw the video. He had access because he was so highly ranked. He had access to the video. And maybe it was like early on in the system. So maybe they didn't even realize that they accidentally uploaded the video to the public, like the non-super secure, partition or whatever, maybe they just uploaded it accidentally to the wrong spot. And then Edward Lynn sees it and he's like, holy shit. And then he records it. And then he shows somebody and then it leaks out. Ultimately, responsibilities on Edward Lynn. He gave away Gorgon Stare Increment 2, like early on too. Like showing that to our enemies early on, they would have found that all out and they would have figured out about Gorgon Stare like right when it came out. Right when it came out, they would have known all about our capability. Okay. So let's do some of these super chats. You guys are going crazy. And thank you in the Pilled and Rumble, guys. Oh, wow. Thank you, Mike M, for that donation. I appreciate it. Ashton, they shut down your YouTube stream. No, I don't think so. YouTube's still going hot here, guys. We're still going hot. Woke and Walked, gifted. Thank the cookie. Appreciate you, man. I love it. Let's see. Oh, so did somebody say that is a 100% graphic artist CGI interpretation of data? That is not actual video evidence of anything. I don't know what they were talking about with that. Probably not true, though. Sandy, Colorado, thank you for that huge super sticker. Zach Dagger, I respect you, Ashton. Thank you for fighting. Appreciate you. Appreciate you too, Zach. War Ranch, Raphael created Lightning. We need to question them too. No, here's the thing. We can't go after the camera operators. Camera operators have plausible deniability. They can just say, we made a camera, so what? I mean, yes, they can say that's their camera for sure. Absolutely. But the added layer of SNC is that they are literally packaging the data and distributing it. So they have the cameras. Like, what proof do we have that we can actually nail those Lightning company? We don't have proof that can nail them. We do have proof that can nail SNC, though. We do have proof that can nail them. Thank you again for this huge donation. Thank you again. Devin, Discord. Yeah, we can do that. And also, I want to apologize to the person I was rude to. I think it was Todd. Todd, sorry for being rude to you, Todd, earlier. I know you're just asking a question. I just get tired of getting the same question. So the big question people ask is, why do the clouds not look like they moved? And this is honestly just disinformation that gets pushed. I mean, they're right. It does look like that. That's why the best disinformation has a ring of truth to it. But once again, the answer to why the clouds don't move is, do the stars move? Do you think the stars are moving up there? Just because something doesn't look like it's moving doesn't mean it's not moving. That's the answer. And then the real thing is that, well, look at how the whammy footage works. Look at the parallax correction and look at how it's stitching the photos together. That's going to account for those reasons. Why is it so hard to see the chats? Okay. What do you suggest? Thank you, Ace, for this other donation. What do you suggest the viewers do to contact? So, no, the Congress people are going to do nothing. You can ask them. I mean, it certainly helps. I would say if you want to talk to your congressman, ask them, send them a letter, say there's leaked Gorgon Stare with Increment 2 footage on the internet that shows a special operation or black operation conducted against Malaysian Airlines. Put the date on there, March 7th, 2014, 1840 UTC, and that you want a congressional hearing and you want Ashton Forbes to testify. He said he's willing to testify. Put that in your letter and just send that to your congressman. That's the best thing you can do. Nothing more. You don't need to go crazy on them. Just add that in there. Just say, and then maybe a link to the leaked footage, because that will get them talking behind the scenes. At some point, what's going to happen is the dam's going to break and everything's going to come out all at once, and everybody's going to pretend like they were all about transparency the whole time. That's how it'll play out. So start seeding that to your congressman. But what I really want you guys to do is to reach out to the DOD and Air Force Public Relations Office and ask them what their stance is on the leaked Gorgon Stare with Argus MH370 video on the internet. That's what I want you to do. We need to get somebody official in the DOD or Air Force to say anything about the videos. Anything. They don't want to say anything because anything they say is damning. If they say they can't say anything, they can't confirm or deny it, that's damning in itself. Because they should just be able to say it's not it. Right? They can't say it's not it. They don't want to say they can't confirm or deny it. And they probably can't say it's true either. So, once again, what's our approach? Hammer them, hammer them, hammer them. Gorgon Stare, Gorgon Stare, Gorgon Stare. Here's our peer review. Here's our peer review. Here's our peer review. Thank you, guys. No RICO. We're not going after them like that. But you can freely just call Sierra Nevada Corporation a criminal enterprise now. Apparently, we can just do that now. We just have a free pass. We basically just handed a free pass to just call Sierra Nevada Corporation a criminal enterprise until they address the videos. Until they come out and claim ignorance or say something that they have no involvement in those videos. I mean, they know it's Gorgon Stare with Argus. So why are they playing dumb? Why are they playing dumb? We know they know. Just come out and make a statement about it. Otherwise, you're a criminal enterprise. Those are your choices. You can either come out, Erin Oswar, right? She can either come out and say that those are true videos and she had nothing to do with it, try to claim ignorance, or prison. I don't care. If she wants to be the one that goes down with for MH370, I don't care. Someone's going to go down. I really don't care at this point because I know that the people responsible aren't going to be the ones that go to prison. So if somebody else wants to take the fall, great. Whatever. I just want to get the truth out there. I don't care who takes the fall. Gorgon, thank you, War Ranch, for this donation. Yeah, the Argus Gorgon are just the ISR pods. They're the pods, the weapon systems. Okay, so that was actually the last thing I wanted to talk about was the weapon system. The weapon system, just how are we going to prove who built the weapon system? I don't know. But you know what? I didn't think we'd get this far. I didn't think we'd be getting on talking about Gorgon Stare. I didn't even know what the hell Gorgon Stare was 2 years ago. I had no clue. So are we going to figure out what the orbs are and who made them? Maybe. I don't know how, but maybe. Now, my opinion is Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin. There's actually quite a lot of possibilities, but Lockheed Martin's the one that just kind of makes the most sense. Remember General Joseph F. Dunford? He's the one that kind of makes Lockheed Martin make the most sense. He started Space Force. He became the #1 military member right after this mission under Obama. And he went to Lockheed Martin Board of Directors. So what we're realizing is that how are they hiding this technology? We actually learned, and I'm going to play the videos one more time. We learned so much about these videos because we learned how they're cooperating. The orbs are not going to be Air Force orbs. Those aren't standard Air Force orbs coming out of there, but that is Air Force surveillance. 100% that's Air Force surveillance. And the cameras we're seeing are advanced. So is this CIA? Is this CIA with like the most advanced military surveillance capabilities? And then they're working with like Lockheed Martin, and Lockheed Martin has the orbs. Therefore, there's plausible deniability because there's no way those orbs are Air Force or military. They've got to be defense contractor. And exactly. So then like, where's the weaponry coming from? So this might be, in my opinion, the thing that makes the most sense is actually not even that it's the Air Force, even though everything points at the Air Force. Everything points at the Air Force, and we're going to hammer the Air Force because they're just like Sierra Nevada Corporation. The Air Force is the ones criminally implicated until they say otherwise because of the fact that there's Gorgon Stare footage. So the Gorgon Stare footage criminally implicates the Air Force until they say, no, it's not us. It was these other people. Same way with Sierra Nevada Corporation. They're criminally implicated until they go and rat out somebody else. And this is how investigations and law enforcement works. You say you're going to be the one to take the fall, or you rat somebody else out. So the Air Force is probably the CIA and Lockheed Martin, but my guess is they using all these other people as like 50 layers of shields where it's never going to get back to them. But that's my opinion on how it probably is playing out. Truth teller. Ashton wins the Gorgon Stare contest. Mike. Oh, this is the same Mike from Rumble. Too much disinfo has been circulating around the videos. Yes, I know it has been. And this is the other thing. Remember back to Kim. Yeah, and he was pushing 100,000. So we are clearly, now that we know the videos are no question, like unambiguously real, there's nothing you can even say. There's not even a story you can say that makes sense for the videos to be fake anymore. Now that we know that, we know there's a counter intel disinformation operation being run on me, on MH370X, on the videos. And I wonder back, looking back at the various things that have happened, how many of those things were intel operations? Like the RAR file scam, that almost had to be an intel operation. I mean, that was way too complicated. Some random, I mean, I guess you could say the Redditors are obsessed enough that they might have done something like that, but it's pretty crazy. And the Kim.com thing was definitely an intel operation, especially now that we know the cloud photos were planted and come from the whammy Gorgon Stare footage. Now that we know, no doubt, in fact, I want to pull that up because I want to look at that for a second. You know, I never really looked too hard. Like, well, actually, I did look hard, but textures. Yeah, here it is. I want to look at those photos again as well, because now that we know those photos were faked or just possibly just taken directly from the whammy footage, that's what I'm wondering, and planted on the internet in 2016. Planted on the internet in 2016, 2 years later, maybe we can gain some information from the fact that that happened. And now we know, too, we got to be super careful, man. These people are not messing around. They are planting whammy Gorgon Stare footage on the internet to try to discredit their own leaks. They're using people like Kim.com, who they have under criminal indictment, who they're trying to extradite to the United States. They're using him to try to like put major bounties that they're then like swiping the legs under. What's it called? I can't remember. Where they try to like build you up and then snatch the credibility away. They're doing legit disinfo to try to make the stuff go away. So we got to be really, really careful now. And they're gonna, now that they're backed into a corner, like really backed into a corner, they're gonna be desperate and they're gonna push everything they can. Personal attacks on me. You guys already saw it. I called it, actually. I called it. You guys saw a lot of it. Where they, you know, what was the one guy's comparing me to, like, I don't, the Kool-Aid guy and all this other stuff? Just wild, man. So be vigilant now, because here's the other thing is, now that we know what they're doing, we can catch them in the act. We can catch them in the act. But stay focused when we are arguing with people on the core undeniable facts. Gorgon Stare, here's the peer review. Boom. If you don't agree, ask your own Air Force contacts. They will confirm it, right? That's all we need to focus on. We don't need to get into the weeds about debunks, because it doesn't matter. The debunks don't matter. We have proof that supersedes the debunks. Okay. Thank you, Brandon. Guys, and here's the other thing. I don't care about podcasters anymore. We're beyond podcasters. This is now needs to be going to the government. We need to be testifying in front of Congress. We need to have like criminal investigations happen. I don't even care about Arrow anymore. Arrow doesn't even matter. What's Arrow going to say? Arrow's not like, they can't charge anybody. Arrow's just going to write a report up. We need people like doing actually actionable things now. That's what we really need. And sure, podcasts are great. If they invite me, I'll probably go on, but you know, we're way beyond. This is a real thing, not something that's supposed to be like joked about on a podcast. Thank you very much, War Ranch, for that donation. Robert, whammy producer video from X that looks a lot like your whammy video. It even has a mouse dragging. Can somebody find that? If somebody can find Robert's thing, put it in the Discord if you don't mind, please, sir. Appreciate it. I'll put another invite. Okay. William Bill, thank you, brother, for that support the whole time. I appreciate you, William Bill. Thank you, Rock Records, as well. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, Gary. And W. Yeah. Paradigm shift. Yeah, it is a paradigm shift. Thank you, W. And Donuts. Donuts. Yeah, you don't donate if you need your money, man. I appreciate it. You don't need to donate to get your message heard, even though you kind of do, because there's too many people in the chat. But no, I don't need that. So, but thank you very much. I appreciate it, man. You're awesome, brother. Okay. I'm going to take a look at these cloud photos as well. Oops, closed it. Okay. So now that we know these photos were planted in 2016, which by the way, you can just see at the top of your screen right here, guys. If anybody just doesn't know, you guys have done a good job on Reddit and things like that. When people say, "Oh, the cloud picture," you just say they're only on the internet in 2016. If people talk about metadata can be faked in like 5 seconds. Like 5 seconds, you can fake metadata. So metadata doesn't mean anything. You need to actually show us where this existed on the internet that you're claiming was on the internet. That's their claim, not ours. Now, the first thing here is this first picture even used? So these are the photos. The first thing I notice is these 4 photos look different. These 4 photos look different than the first one. And it is kind of funny that I forgot what I was going to say. Shit, lost my train of thought. So I actually forgot. I want to know if somebody can find out. I want to know which photos they were actually using in the actual match, because it might be that only some of these are fake. It might be that like only 3 of them or 4 of them are fake. I don't know. But definitely, if I had to just guess looking at them, because I've seen the satellite video so many times, definitely this one on the top right comes from the whammy, and these 2 in the middle. Those 2 for sure. I can just tell. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I think those ones just at a glance. But the one in the top left, I don't know. Unless you resize the clouds, I don't know how any of those clouds could fit. And this one down here at the bottom, these clouds don't really look like anything I recognize from the video. So I'm curious. Now, they're real pictures. They come from an Argus Gorgon Stare camera that's filming MH370. They don't come from a guy's set of pictures he took from Japan. But they might have inserted other photos in there to like make it seem like they did come from his set. That's kind of the point I was trying to get at. So So for the people that say, "Oh, those by the way, those are the cloud photos I just showed you." Those cloud photos only go back to 2016. If they try to argue that the cloud photos were not for some reason crawled or whatever, well, we actually have an image that shows that the real Japan photos, the real ones, not the ones that are used for the videos, those were actually crawled on the Internet Archive in 2013. So we do know that at least some of those photos were crawled, the real ones. So there's not even an argument to be made to say that like, oh, it just didn't pick them up. No, it did. It did pick up his old photos. It just, these aren't in there. They're not there. Those are the hard facts. Now, since we're just going over debunks, even though I didn't plan it, I want to go over one more thing, because I think the last thing we're going to do tonight, I'm going to go over some chats. I'm going to answer some questions, but I want to go and look at the Reddit threads and explain any arguments that I see there where people are making the wrong arguments. I like this one. They don't go back to 2012. You're the one without the evidence. That's the point. You don't have any evidence they're there. So it's actually would be simple to prove me wrong, which is that you can literally find anywhere on the internet. It doesn't even have to be textures. Anywhere on the internet, the cloud photos existed before the videos would prove us wrong indisputably. Indisputably. But you don't have that because there isn't actually evidence that anywhere on the internet, that those cloud images existed, because they can't have existed because they come from the Gorgon Stare whammy footage, which we've proven it, because you can't make Gorgon Stare whammy footage manually from scratch. That's the whole point of the software. The software does that, not a human. The software does it. You would literally have to have access to the Gorgon Stare proprietary software that nobody knows how it works in order to even begin to produce the MH370 Gorgon Stare video, which I will show once again for you. So again, this is absolute technical proof. There's no counter argument. Absolute technical proof that this video right here is authentic. And what this means is that those cloud images 100% were planted on the internet in 2016, exactly as the Wayback Machine shows. And there is no evidence whatsoever counter to that story. Metadata is not evidence, nor is API. Neither. Both of those things are, not only are they easily faked, they would have to be faked if you're going to plant the pictures on the internet. That's literally the only thing you would fake and need to fake if you're going to plant photos on the internet and make them look like they're from another time. We changed EXIF data metadata on the actual videos to make them look like they're from 2035. Took 5 seconds. You can use it. You guys can do that yourself. So the other big argument that I want to address is the VFX one. And this only thing you have to say about the VFX thing to keep it very, very simple is that it doesn't even match on the one frame. And the dishonest thing that they did was that they only compared the edge and not the middle. So when people bring up the VFX, if you want to keep it simple, you can just say, why did you remove the middle part that clearly doesn't match at all? Like, there's no way to make that match. You can see these things protruding off the sides of it. Like, it doesn't, there's no possible way. So yes, on one edge, it's very similar. It's not a perfect match on the one edge, but it's similar. And this is the only frame that you can even do this to. You can't even do this to even any other frames whatsoever, because they had to resize. They had to resize this to even get this to match. And it's not proportionate to any of the other frames at all. And they know this. They know that it is. But once again, they're liars, and we're facing a disinformation campaign. So the best argument to use against them there is, why did you edit out the middle? Because you'll see a lot of them intentionally edit out the middle, and they'll only show you the edge. Just tell them, why did you edit out the middle? There it is. Why are you intentionally lying? Because it requires deceit in order to edit out the middle and claim this is an exact match. And then just to finish off the case, like, here's the full effect. I saw people on Reddit just sharing the full effect. Obviously, it's not a match. I mean, I have eyes. I can just see it's not a match. And the question you should be again wondering is, why did the people that claim this matches when it clearly doesn't? Why did they lie? Why did they say that matches when it doesn't? Again, I'm just going to keep playing it. Like, this is literally the effect that people are claiming matches the zap. That's it. You're looking at it. It doesn't even have the same number of frames. And the real death blow to it is, you're not looking at VFX. This is the last one. You're not even looking at VFX here. This isn't even VFX. This is actual pictures of fire. You guys realize what I'm saying? This isn't VFX. The stock effect is not VFX. So when people say they would modify it, what do you mean? You're going to modify a photo? Those are photos of fire that have been stacked onto each other to look like an explosion. That's not VFX. Nobody digitally made that. That's somebody literally took pictures with a camera. Remember, those are from the 90s. They didn't have VFX stuff like we have now. That was from the 90s. Someone literally took photos of fire and they turned it into an explosion effect by stacking the TIFFs on each other. So when people try to make the argument that, oh, somebody modified it to make it match, what do you mean? It's a photo. They're photos. It's not a visual thing that you can just modify like that. And there's no way to just like warp it to get it to match. I don't know. The true reality, guys, is that a lot of people, of course, will never be able to believe the videos are real, and it has nothing to do with the evidence. Is that the very same people that were making the arguments that we would never change our minds if presented with evidence, that like if they found the plane, the same people are saying you're going to, when they find the plane, you're just going to say that they planted the plane there. These same people are the ones who are ignoring the evidence that's right in front of them. Those are the same people that are not willing to change their minds when given absolute proof that the videos are real. They're the same people that are not willing to admit that they're wrong when we just show them that their claims are just wrong. No, it obviously doesn't match a 90s picture of fire. It does not match a 90s picture of fire that doesn't match on any frames. No. It's obviously not two-dimensional stock pictures of clouds that someone turned into Gorgon Stare increment 2 whammy footage. Obviously not that. So the reality is, if you want to try to debunk the videos, I still encourage you to do so. It's clearly impossible. I encourage you to do so. but you need to come up with a story. We're well beyond, this doesn't look right. You need to explain this to me. No, I don't. You need to come up with a story for how in any reality those videos could be fake. Any story that makes sense. There isn't any. Let's take a couple. We're going to do a cardinal sin. Wait, let me just make sure there's nothing else we need to review on Reddit. We might go easy on Sierra Nevada next week. I haven't decided. We'll see. Actually, no, we're not going to. Oh, yeah, I have a major appearance coming up as well. So stay tuned. I'm not going to announce it until the last second. You know what? Maybe we will announce it. Let's just see what happens. Let's see what happens. Let's test the waters. I'm going on Tim Pool on Monday. I'm going to be on Tim Pool on Monday, and I'm going to blow the lid off this whole thing. I'm going to blow the lid off this whole thing to like 10,000 plus people. I'm going to say the Sierra Nevada is implicated by the cameras. I'm going to say that's U.S. Air Force Gorgon Stare and that they know. Yeah, I'm just going to go off. I'm going to go off. It's going to be good. So Monday, this thing's going to blow up even bigger because if they haven't said anything by Monday, then I'm going to be going on front of hundreds of thousands of people and amplifying it even higher. And I'm going to tell them the same thing I just told you guys. Call up the DOD and Air Force public relations and ask them what their stance is on the leaked MH370 Gorgon Stare video. Oh, yeah. I almost forgot about this. Oh, my God. How did I forget about this, chat? I mean, it's pretty easy to be confident when the people in question are quite literally deleting evidence from their website in real time. I don't even know when this happened, but I know it happened within the last month. Within the last month, it might have even just been a few days ago. Sierra Nevada Corporation deletes their wide area motion imagery website. Literally deleted it. Just a few days ago. Just a few days ago, chat. Like really, really recently. They deleted it so fast. They deleted it so fast that there are still hyperlinks that reference it on other pages. And they just go right here to nowhere. Here's what the old page looked like. We found, of course, it's on the Wayback Machine. Here's what it is. Look at all that. 24-hour persistent coverage, infrared, blah, blah, blah. And then look, you have all the capabilities. Live imagery stream dissemination via multiple communication paths and data links. I mean, the one in the bottom right, that's the one that puts somebody in prison. The one in the bottom right is the one that tells you these aren't just a sensor company. These aren't people just selling their cameras. These are people literally providing data links. Data links. When they say data links, what they're saying is we are going to feed you our data that you are paying for. What that means is Sierra Nevada Corporation is criminally implicated in that video. Because of that video, because they're the ones feeding that to the Joint Tactical Intelligence Network. Pretty wild, huh? Yeah, that is a bit of a Yahtzee. That is a bit of a Yahtzee. Let's see what else I've got for you guys. There is this thing called Big Safari where I haven't really read it all, but apparently like they were working on the Predator drones and what have you. But one of my sources worked at Big Safari. One of my sources that confirmed the Gorgon Stare footage worked at Big Safari, saw a bunch of Gorgon Stare versions, and they know that's an older version. And the reason why I'm confident in that source, and I'm not going to reveal that source, not in a million years. The reason why I'm confident in that source is because they also told me about the lightning pod, which nobody has told me about. The lightning pod. The only way they could have known about the lightning pod is that they have a ton of experience. They were like, I'm not sure, but I think that's a lightning pod. And I go look and I'm like, holy crap, that's what it is. That's what it really is. So yeah. And then the second source, and I'm being transparent, the second source is the previous source that I had from last year that I didn't even know was legit until now, because I had a pre-existing message from last year where they talked to their Air Force sources and confirmed that was a previous version of a drone video, aka Gorgon Stare. So those are my sources. I'm fully transparent about the context of my sources. And again, the evidence is out there and peer reviewable. If you are not peer reviewing the evidence, that's on you. You asked us to make it peer reviewable. It's peer reviewable. If you want to find some other sources that maybe they worked at China Lake, like my source, and want to claim that's not Gorgon Stare, I'd love to have a debate about it. Love to. And if anyone wants to debate, anyone credible, if you're a Redditor, you're not credible. If anyone credible wants to debate the videos or any aspect of it, I'm down. I mean, I got dead to rights evidence and proof. So let's make it happen. Make it happen. Levi, orbs around the 4. Thank you very much. Robert Romano. Okay, I put the links in the evidence thread. There are quite a few videos from Transparent Sky. Yeah. We'll take a look at that later. Probably review that next week. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay. We've got that. Oh, and I think that it may actually be Argus IR, might be a special variant of the whammy footage of the Gorgon Stare that might own. This is me highly speculating. Where is it? Might be only for special programs. Or maybe Argus IR is Argus IS. I don't know. Maybe they're different. I can't really tell if they're the same thing or not. So either the video, and this goes to show that I'm being transparent. We know it's Argus, but we don't know all the details of this stuff. So we can't tell if Argus IS is different from Argus IR or if those are just two different names for the same thing. But we do know enough context to be making heavy accusations and onto people. Okay. Yep. Oh, here's the last thing. I forgot to show you guys this. This is the context of the flight path, okay? So for people, we need people to be specific. People want to wonder what is happening with the flight, okay? Here you go. I'm going to go big screen on this. So we've got our plane flying northeast 40 minutes. This line right here is about 40 minutes. And then the plane goes dark. This is where the fire starts, when the plane goes dark. And it turns back around and it goes to Penang. It might not be exactly Penang, but somewhere around here. And then after it gets down here to Penang, it turns again. Doesn't land. And then this is the last military radar that they've publicly admitted to. And if you draw almost a straight line to our coordinates, that's where you get where we see the plane. Now, Catherine T is about 100 miles away. So she probably saw the plane while it was on this track towards where we see it get zapped away. So she probably saw the plane somewhere around here, would be my guess. We don't have an exact time frame, but the fact that we can get this down to like a 15-minute window, like we're 99% sure we have it within a 15-minute window. That's pretty damn impressive. Can you imagine solving a crime 11 years later and narrow it down to a 15-minute window? Pretty impressive. So yeah, we have a ton of evidence. Anyone who tries to claim we don't have evidence, they're out their mind, bro. Out their mind. Let's take a look at Reddit real quick and just see if we, you know what? I don't even want to. UFOB. Okay, we'll take a quick look at this. Okay, let's see if we can find anything good in here. What do we got? Oh yeah, this guys, don't share this. This not a leak. Whatever this crap was, we proved this was wrong. By the way, this was definitely wrong. So this thing that somebody shared with some AI slop or something like that, be very careful, guys. If you don't see me promoting it and it's related to MH370, you probably shouldn't be promoting it yourself. The thing that now gives this away and why we know it was just a copy of what we were doing is because it was talking about the satellites, but we now know it wasn't satellites. Now, if this thing had said Gorgon Stare on it, that this was like Gorgon Stare and it was from a drone and not from a satellite, then this leak would have been genuine, right? We know that now. This leak would have been genuine if it told us the truth, but it didn't. It lied. So again, be careful about these fake leaks that people are seeing. This is hilarious. This is CGI. How do you lose your critical thinking skills? It's pretty funny. This is coming from someone in the tech field who believes in aliens completely based on events in my own life. This really goes to show the problem, doesn't it? Somebody that is in the tech field that believes in aliens but can't tell the two most obviously real military videos in the history of the world are real. Can't even tell that they're real. Why? Just because. Just can't believe it. Just can't believe it. So here's the background of the clouds. So this is basically people just repeating the same fake debunks. And is there anyone making any good arguments? Okay, why would they have got recordings of this? And again, it's not UFOs. So focusing on the fact that it's not aliens is also really big. Where is the last one? You know what? Let's go look at the airliner abduction. We'll look at that thread real quick, and then we'll call it a night. Remote viewing, these people, man, their psychic powers. Yeah, the attempt to cover up the videos was quite telling, guys. The attempt to cover up the videos, especially on Reddit, the excuse given by Embers to Ashes here was that it's embarrassingly transparent brigading. Isn't the point of a subreddit to have attention on your subreddit? What do you mean? Transparently presenting. Knock it off or the post gets locked. This is pretty ironic coming from somebody who's hiding in my Discord like a little rat. This guy's hiding in the Discord like a little rat, watching what we do, trying to like catch something that he can take out of context. That's the person saying, knock it off, guys. Stop brigading. Jesus Christ, what a rat piece of crap. I mean, you are just a disgusting, disgusting human being, Embers to Ashes. The best thing and the best advice I could give to Embers to Ashes, delete your Reddit account and delete your Twitter account and never reactivate them ever again. If you can pull off the self-control that it would take for you to do that, you would become an amazing human being. But you don't have that level of self-restraint. And that is your Achilles heel. There you go. That's the most honest advice anyone will ever give Embers to Ashes. And then people were wondering, this points out as well, is that they're suppressing the message so well that Redditors don't even know that the videos have been forensically confirmed to be Gorgon Stare. They don't even know that because you're not allowed to share that information on Reddit. If you share that information, they'll just delete your thread. Not allowed to share it. You're only allowed to share information that supports the fake motive that or fake notion that the videos are fabrications. Man, there really aren't a lot of arguments, right? We're not even actually seeing anything else. I think we hit all the main ones, guys, here tonight. So let me see if there's anything else at the end. Okay, here we go. It's certainly not Gorgon Stare. That doesn't say why. None of this refutes anything that we've said. So this is just cope. I mean, I don't know. So a lot of people just say stuff, doesn't make any sense. Notice the link Ashton uses claims the photos are from 2016 is a link that was created in 2016 because the site rebranded. No, that's not true. So this is not true. Actually, the site rebranded in 2014. The site rebranded in 2014. So no, the images being from 2016 has nothing to do with the site rebranding. And once again, we proved that the images from the actual Japan photos were archived. We proved that they were archived. So this argument doesn't work. Terrible argument. You lost that argument. This is one of the images. Notice it says textures. Yes, they don't exist on either. So to be 100% clear to who's this user, these are just all bots, by the way. Messenger 36912. There are no proof on any website. Once again, let me say it. If the cloud images were not planted, there would be proof of them existing on any website. You're the one saying they're from 2012, but they don't exist on CG Textures or textures.com. They don't exist on any website before 2016. They don't exist on any website on the entire internet before 2016. Do you get it? Is it clear yet? The photos, as a statement of fact, do not exist anywhere on the internet before 2016. We've got the Internet Archive proof of it. And if you want to prove me wrong, all you have to do is find an Internet Archive link of those photos anywhere on the internet before the videos, even before 2016. 2016 is the earliest we can find them. They don't exist before 2016, let alone before 2014. We're not even within the right year of the videos yet. We're not even close to when the videos were on the internet yet. Okay, not even close. So again, once again, just to be 100% clear, all the facts and the evidence prove the videos are real. Anyone claiming otherwise is a liar, or like this person misrepresenting the facts. That's what's happening here. They're just misrepresenting them. What else do we have? There is no known pod that's shorter than the wing. Once again, it is a Lightning G4 pod. If you have evidence that it's a different pod, you are free to present that evidence. But the location is 100% consistent with the hard point number 5 on a Lightning pod. You can freely peer review that. We asked the AI. We made that publicly available. 100% consistent. If you have evidence that it's a different pod, go ahead. But the Gorgon Stare footage proves both videos are real. One of them being real proves both of them real 100%. So we don't even need to argue about what camera's on the second one. Doesn't even matter. So that argument doesn't work either. Then they say, I even checked for RQ4. That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter because it's, once again, this user is just wrong. You can see the wing on that pod, especially when the camera angle is tilted up. The wing shows up on the pod. So factually, we win again. Every single point made by Messenger 36912 was addressed on this stream. They were wrong on every single point. And once again, the videos are real and they stand up again. So nobody has been able to debunk these videos. Not at all. You would think if the videos were fake, it should be trivial to prove them fake. But of course, you can't prove them fake. It's not possible to prove real videos fake. Literally not. And we found all the assets. We won. It's over. It's literally over. The only thing now is that we need to draw attention to it in a way that it cannot be ignored. Because we have been boxed in on all sides. The media, podcasters, really anyone of influence, they are not going to give this attention no matter what. So we need to make so much noise that it cannot be ignored. And we need to make sure we are attacking the right people that they can say nothing. So our targets are Sierra Nevada Corporation, their CEO, the Air Force, and the DOD. And if we can get any on the record statements about the videos from them, the whole thing's just going to fall apart. Just fall apart. So, guys, what are you guys going to do on Monday? We're going to call up the public affairs officer, the DOD, and the Air Force, and we're going to say, what is your stance on the leaked Gorgon Stare Aegis MH370 video? We want a public statement. And we're probably going to call up SNC again if their phone call lines come back on, and we're going to ask for their statement as well. Maybe they'll fess up by then. We'll see. Okay, guys. I love all you guys. Thank you, MH370X. I hope you guys have a good weekend. Have a good night. Look for some more content, potentially this weekend, some more video content. And check me out on Tim Pool. It's going to be on Monday morning. I'm going to be on the morning show. So Monday morning, check me out. I think it's around lunchtime. I'm going to take my lunch break and talk to him. So should be awesome, guys. Love y'all. Peace out, everybody. We're gonna go with this one, chat, just because we're going hard tonight.
You got empty pockets and Holly from the USA. The government came and took it all away. If he's a good boy, he gets his allowance. Kim.com hashtag glowing clairvoyance.
Kim.com.
Why do you glow so hard?
Why do you glow so hard?
What is hiding in your past?
What is hiding in your past?
From Hollywood, insider trading and embezzlement sting. Now he's on Twitter calling scammers with the only thing. The FBI left him a G-string. But when the glow's called him, he shed a tear. Now he's calling other people scammers out of fear. He got empty pockets and heartache from the USA. The government came and took it all away. Empty thoughts, why do you glow so hard?
Why do you glow so hard?
What is hiding in your past?
What is hiding in your past?
MT.com stole from Hollywood, insider trading and embezzlement sting. Now he's on Twitter calling scammers with the only thing. The FBI left him a G-string. Getting him. Why you go so hard? Why you go so hard? Getting him. Why you go so hard? Why you go so hard?
Love you guys. Have a great night, MH370X. Have a great weekend. Love you guys.